And we're live. Hello, everyone. It's our regular Wednesday chamble, as we like to call it, our regular chat, and we'll be live streaming on Facebook, so hopefully you can all see us. A little bit of housekeeping at the beginning before I introduce you to my amazing guest for today. We're coming to the end of this series. We'll be doing up to the 15th of July. We'll do one a week as we normally do. So it's about 3 more, I think, we've got to go. If you've really loved it and you want to see more when we come back in September, I really strongly advise you to follow us on Crowdcast, because that means you will get the automatic ins and they won't ask you to pay anything, and you won't be locked out. And have to resubscribe 15 times with different emails. So yeah, a bit like Facebook. Crowdcast works a little bit like Facebook. If you could go and follow us, if you want to, then you will receive our updates and our emails from Crowdcast letting you into all of our broadcasts. So yeah, that's a quick bit of housekeeping for getting us ready for the September. When we're going to be in September, we're going to be doing one a day.
What?
I know. I am going to need some Metatone tonic.
You need a cleaner for that.
A cleaner. I'll need a cleaner. I need a bartender. I definitely need someone to make me drinks regularly.
I like it.
A bartender. I'll be writing my rider. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, honey. I'll be writing my rider. So, welcome to my amazing guest, Freya von Bulow. Hello, Freya.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
She is coming live with us from Amsterdam. We've gone global, people.
Yeah.
We've gone global. We have. From a kitchen in Amsterdam. And hopefully everyone can hear. As I say, always, if you've got any issues with the tech, we're all learning. This is all new. We're only like 3 months into it. If you've got any issues with the tech, pop them in the sidebar. And if I can, I'll try and solve it. But if I can't, sometimes if you can't hear us or you can't see us, the best thing is to log out and log back in again. So that's a quick top tip. That usually works. And if we keep dropping out, it's because you're not near enough to your Wi-Fi signal, or your upload or download is not strong enough. So just go and sit on your hub. It's warm. It's very hot today. Maybe sitting on a hub could be a bit painful. We're not, a disclaimer, we're not responsible for any burns.
No.
That are inflicted if you go and sit on your
hub. People.
So yeah, quick bit of all of that at the beginning. Welcome, Micah. So exciting. I have known Micah since 2009, and I adore you. And I was very sad when you left Hastings and went across the water to Holland, but at least you went somewhere that's familiar to me.
Exactly.
Because I was just saying that, and most people know I've got a lot of family in Holland, and my lovely cousin Pamela has had a baby during lockdown. So I'll be visiting Holland very soon and seeing hopefully my new, I don't know what that is, second cousin, I think. Her baby most probably, if she's my cousin.
Some sort of niecey thing.
Relative.
I don't know.
Sort of.
Do you know in Dutch, niece and cousin are the same word? So
are they?
Just say cousin or niece, whatever.
So what's the word in, I'm going to write that down. What is the word in Dutch for that? I've put you on the spot now.
Cousin. I think it's kussen. I don't know. Kussen is kissing. Kissing. No, or something like that.
I'll ask her.
Yeah. But it's the same word. And I get confused when people go like, my niece? Yeah, but how does that work?
Yeah, I'll ask her how that works. So yeah, exciting. So I've known Freya since 2009, when I got introduced by our lovely mutual friend Jerry Brooks.
Oh, we love Jerry.
We love Jerry, who's an amazing PR, an amazing marketing girl, and we love her. And she helped me last year very much deliver the Trailblazers event, so where we were promoting women and women in the arts and the power of women. And Pure strongly advocate for artists, but I personally strongly advocate for women. But now I strongly advocate for everyone, because we're all equal and we all matter. So I just want everybody to have as much of an opportunity to fulfill their dreams and their potential, grow their potential as much as possible.
Yeah, because everyone needs, everyone struggles with the same stuff, no matter
They do.
what sex you are. And
doesn't matter what sex you are, doesn't matter what color you are, we're all the same underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love the fact that I have a multiple ethnicity. Nobody really knows, what my ethnicity is, because it's just, a mashup, really. And I found the layering of the female difficult in my younger life, but I don't anymore.
Layering?
The layering on of the fact that I was female.
Cool. Yeah.
And multi.
I never wanted to be. I never wanted to be female. I thought it sucked having periods and stuff.
Yeah.
I was so jealous of guys, and now I know guys have to.
They have other things. They have other things to deal with. Yeah, I felt in my very young years that layering on, especially because I worked in a very male-dominated environment, was difficult. But I've got over that now, and I've worked out. We were just talking earlier about that whole ethics thing, and I spoke to Kathy as well a few weeks ago about what meaning you bring to things, and I realized that I was carrying that meaning with me as baggage, and I don't need to. I can just let it go.
Because you didn't know, you didn't know before, but now you know.
No. And now
so
I know.
Why carry it? Yeah.
Why layer that meaning on constantly into my future life? Yeah. So,
and if you don't sort it out, you give that package then to your children. Thanks,
exactly, Mom. And you really don't want to do that. I really, hope I would be a good role model. So, so there's a lot of that stuff goes on, isn't there? And so I know when Jerry introduced me to Freya, you were doing the front row. Yes. And you'd just taken over, I think, from your friend
Marissa.
Yeah. Marissa. And it's an amazing thing, and it'd be really interesting, to hear your journey from Hastings, running the front row, to now where you are, the evolution of Freya, now where you are in Europe. You've just done you've just finished your masters. What went before, and what do you see going forward? So I'm going to hand the mic over. Hand over the mic.
Not the package. Yeah, I don't want the
package. Just the mic. Yeah, you can just have the mic.
Okay. Oh well, I mean, I started doing sort of an ethical fashion show, or fashion event to promote local designers. I was big involved in sort of charity shops. I was working for as a volunteer, and there were so many creative. I mean, Hastings is just full of creative people, and everyone was just doing their little bits and pieces. So I thought it might be fun to get everyone into a fashion show. I love fashion. I love secondhand fashion. And my friend Marisa was doing the first show, which was the Ethical Fashion Show, which had 80 seats, and it was sold out, and there was a huge queue outside. And then the next year she said, "Oh my God, it's so much hard work. I can't do it again." And then me and the designer Stephanie said, "Then do you want? Shall we do it?" So yes.
You picked up the reins. Events are really hard work, aren't they?
They are really hard work. I mean, literally
getting my notepad sorted.
Yeah, the show. I mean, I would from then onwards do a show a year, and it would probably take me 8 months to organize. Insane. So it was all about, oh my God, the first show was in St. Mary in the Castle in Hastings, and it was a show. We had lots of stalls with secondhand clothing. So it was a show, a fashion fair, and like an after show party and stuff. So a big thing. And it went from, each year the event was bigger. And then we ended up showing at the Delaware Pavilion in Bexhill, we did, I think, 3 shows there altogether. And they were huge. We did a whole weekend. We did
I have to say,
installations and music. And
it was awesome at the
performance art and fashion. It
was awesome. I remember bringing my mum, and Jerry brought her mum, and it was like, really, it was something for everyone. We brought the kids, and there was an element in that event for everyone. It was like ethical fashion. It was all about diversity. You had, you supported, what was it? Terence Higgins Trust.
Terence Higgins Trust at Michael Foster's. We had students from the Bexhill College, fashion students. We had everybody who was doing fashion around in the area was there, and it was huge. It was massive.
It was huge, and the goodie bags were quite good as well.
They were quite cool, yeah. But they were hard work, because it's like, you know, a lot of it was handmade. I mean, it was amazing. The amount of people who contributed was just staggering. Otherwise, it would have never worked. And we did, oh my God, we did the charity shop challenge.
Oh yes, I remember that. That was amazing.
Yeah,
where people went and bought the clothes. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, people had there was a brief, like a theme, and then everyone had to create an outfit, and then show that outfit on the catwalk. And then we had then the best ones. You know, we had like different awards. So the best awards would, or the best outfits would win an award. And we had the big award ceremony on stage. And yeah, gosh.
I think the one I remember, Peter Quinnell.
Peter would always totally boss the charity show challenge. I mean, he's
always nailed it, didn't he? Oh, yeah. High five to you, Peter. You literally nailed that.
Peter Quinnell.
Peter Quinnell. Anyone who's watching, look up Peter Quinnell. Honestly, amazing artist.
Yeah, so inspiring.
Always completely nailed that challenge and won. I remember one year he had like a big space helmet on, didn't he? Like a big silver.
No, that was somebody else.
Was that someone else?
That was Becky McRae. That was insane.
Equally. Becky McRae, equally an amazing artist.
It's like everyone loved being part of that. You know, it was like, okay, what's the theme for next year? So we had like each, you know, we had like front row recycled, front row goes to Hollywood, front row glamorous, front row opera, space. At some point, I think.
So the last one is so sad. You're not doing them anymore. When was the last one?
I think 2016. That was just a year before, because 2017 I left for Amsterdam.
Yes.
So I've been here now 3 years. Yeah.
And I know from events that you burn out eventually. You eventually burn out from doing one thing.
The thing is also because the people who would come to the show, they would be they would be more or less the same.
The audience.
Like, we knew in the audience. So I felt like I had to, although the shows were already insane, each year I had to make it bigger to be even, to please the same audience. I couldn't do it the same thing. And that's where the pressure goes. We could have, probably the first show we ever did, we could have taken, if that had been our path, and we could have taken that to London and to, we could have toured that show throughout the UK, but because it's always it's sort of more or less the same, the same audience, we had to do it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Can you imagine? If we've been in lockdown? If we've been in lockdown, and how you could have put that online and the audience, across the world that would have seen it, because that show, I have to say, inspired me a lot with the Pure shows. I completely get it. We fell into that same trap of people pleasing as well, and trying to be bigger and better every year. And I've just had that conversation with you as well about always trying to be professional, always trying to show a good example,
and that's
always trying to make it better.
Yeah. But it became more and more of it became more and more hard work, and
it becomes an energy
and
vampire.
you don't do it. I couldn't live of it. It wasn't for any monetary gratification, but just for the pure. I get such a kick out of people's energies and getting people together and the excitement and the creativity and stuff. That was my. I love that. That was my nourishment.
I totally get that. It is about the energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't do these things generally for an income. We generally do them because they need to be done.
Yeah.
And someone's got to do it. We love it. I get a massive buzz out of putting on an event.
Mm-hmm.
But there is always a finite time scale to it. Because
And
there comes a point.
Yeah. Do you know what I actually recently discovered as well? That I also sort of put that show on for myself, because I always made a collection for myself, because I didn't at some point, I think after I think at the second show, I was like, oh, but I enjoy making a catwalk collection too. So I was actually, participating as well as organizing. So, in the end, also, it's like also a little bit of stage for yourself, which I have to be really honest. That was a big part for me too. It was beautiful that everyone came together as such, but I also wanted to show off what I can do with my paper couture.
Exactly. And I think that's when I became aware of you and kind of pulled you across into our kind of bubble and asked you to do some exhibitions for us. So you did some amazing windows for us in the Wing Art Gallery in Wadhurst. You did the most, I mean, honestly, at one point I thought I was going to have to take out some sort of insurance, because cars would literally brake heavily outside the windows. I'm like, there's going to be a crash and they're going to blame us. This is going to be a problem.
Yeah, and that was a small road as
well. And it was a small, narrow road. I was really worried. And so talk to us about the paper couture, how you got into paper couture, and how it has evolved.
So, I mean, I started doing the front row shows at 2008. And that was also during when I was doing my my degree, in illustration at Brighton University. So I was, we were doing book art, I think, and I love collages. So I thought, oh, why not do 3D stuff? And when I did the second front row show, I was thinking, oh, it'd be so cool if I just made a couple of paper dresses, and they only have to last. It's cheap. Paper is cheap. I actually use Xerox paper, but it was cool. Actually, I photocopied lace and then made sort of a dress from that. It looked super cool, and I loved it. But it was afterwards, I didn't want to make fashion to sell it. I just wanted to make a show, and then when it's paper, I'll just trash it. I mean, the all my paper dresses of all my shows. I mean, I did. Oh God, yeah. Of all my shows, they went into the bin afterwards. And people
and that's something they teach. Yeah, that's something they teach you in foundation, isn't it? It's make it, throw it away, do it again.
Yeah. And I didn't want to have it kicking about. So that's when I started, okay, I want to do some paper couture. And then it became a feature. So I've done one each year. And I've done oh my God. I did the whole collection of 14 paper couture pieces for Brighton Fashion Show one year. Imagine it. It's I can't even, I think of it and I'm like, how? Impossible.
How did you do that?
And after that, I just went to the dump and put it on into the paper recycling.
In the paper recycling. Oh, that's painful. All those hours. But it's really important. That process of us evolving is really important. That you do it, obviously ethically, recycle it, so it becomes something else, and then you start again. And I think that's something that foundation year, when people miss the foundation year in their art training, it's something that I have to kind of re-embed. Yes, do it, chuck it away, do it, chuck it away. Not chuck it away, but recycle it. Don't get precious and don't get attached to it.
No,
because it's a process.
I can imagine everyone has dusty old what are they called, portfolios hanging about, and they never look into it. It's like, oh, chuck it away. It's like, you can come up with better stuff now.
My mum found my photography portfolio in the shed.
Yeah, probably wet.
It was slightly crumpled, and the dissertation was all in there, all typed out as well. And I was like, okay, put it in the back of the car.
Where is it now?
It's in the recycling, in the dump, in the recycling.
It's true. I mean, sometimes we hang onto stuff, and it's like, what for? What for?
Yeah.
That was a space and time, and why?
It's emotional, isn't it? We have memories and we have emotions attached to it.
Because only when we see it, we have the memories. Because otherwise, it's like, do we need them?
Decluttering is a thing,
yes.
isn't it?
Oh yes, when I moved to Amsterdam, I basically moved just with one suitcase, and then my then boyfriend Phil, he then drove me over to, he came over, and then we brought a couple of more things. One of the things being a huge roll of tissue paper, which I got from a company.
Yeah, you tell us the story. This is a good one.
Okay,
how you get your paper.
This roll it's the most exquisite white tissue paper, and it weighs about 50 kilos. And I had 2 of those delivered years ago, probably 2011 or something, after I met a guy on a plane from Hamburg going back to the UK, to Gatwick. And he was like, I never sit next to good-looking guys on planes ever. And I don't know if there's anyone who actually does.
If you do, comment in the sidebar.
Yes, has anyone ever sat next to someone hot on a plane? No. Anyway, Marco was. And so we got chatting, and he said, that he was going on business. He was working for a company that makes specialty paper. And so I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, because I make paper couture. So I showed him some pictures. He's like, oh my God, this is so cool. I love it. I'm going to send you some rolls of paper. So he did. Oh my God, 100 kilos worth of tissue paper.
Just goes to show you, though, nothing's random. Nothing's random. You needed paper, and you find yourself sat next to someone who can send you 100 kilos.
Exactly. And then a couple of years later, the same company employed me to do a beautiful dress from their paper, which was modeled by my daughter Lauren. And we went to Paris for that, to a trade fair. So Lauren was like mooching around the trade fair all day in this dress. And I got paid for that.
So the power of relationships. You don't need lots and lots of people. I mean, I think we've fallen into this trap with social media, that we're convinced by the social media gods that we need to have 1 million followers and loads of connections. No, we don't. You proved you need one really good one.
Yeah. The thing is with the followers, and that's why I did the Pinterest thing, and it goes all into social media with Instagram and stuff. So it's all about, it's like when you have followers, it shows you, it's like an indicator. It's not like necessarily, oh, you have so and so many friends, but you have so and so many people who feel inspired by what you do. And that's an indication. It's just a value. It's not really to say, oh my God, so many people love me, but they appreciate what I put out there. And then the followers, that's an indication of, okay, this person is of value because of the inspiration that person gives out. And that will be then rewarded.
Yes, it's an energy exchange, isn't it?
It's an energy exchange, exactly. And that's what it is. It's not like, oh my God, if somebody doesn't, if I don't get likes for this post, it means that nobody loves me and I have no friends and I might as well just not do anything. No, it's just like, oh, the right people haven't heard your message.
Exactly. You haven't got the right people in
don't change the message, but go out and try to find the people who who
find the right audience for you. Find your tribe.
Yeah, don't use rubbish hashtags. Use the
real ones. Exactly. There is absolutely no point.
So people can find you.
Yeah,
it's just
attracting people.
Look.
Exactly. It's no good attracting people into your bubble who are not actually part of your tribe. You need to be authentic. You need to have integrity. You need to be you and attract the audience in that actually want to follow you. And it's not random. We've just been slightly missold because obviously Facebook and Instagram, etc., are now platforms, like we were just saying about events. There's no money in events per se, because if you equated the amount of time you put in to the income, then you're earning about half a p an hour.
Slavery. That's slavery.
Exactly. It's not.
Nobody says anything about that.
No, you need to call this out a bit more. There's no money in events. But there is money in the periphery of the events. There's money in the fact that people have seen me and you deliver events, and now they go, oh, you're really good at that. You've got skills in that. I want to be part of your tribe. Would you come and do a fashion show for me in Paris?
Yeah.
And so actually all you needed was the one right person in your tribe.
Yeah. And the thing is,
the 1,000 wrong ones.
Yeah. The important thing also one has to realize is that your friends are not your tribe.
Sometimes some of them are.
No, it's interesting. They are not the ones who really want your product. Usually people say, oh, that's kind of cute, and I put a like because, they're my friends and stuff, but they are not actually your tribe in what you're trying to do. Not necessarily. Where it becomes interesting is when suddenly people from outside your bubble go, oh my God, I love what you do. This is so cool. I'm like, oh my God, who's that person? But if people don't, it's like, none of my friends follow me on my YouTube account.
No, I wouldn't expect any of my friends, but some of my friends are also artists, and some of my friends are also collectors. So some of those would be in my tribe, my business, my work life tribe. So there is a little bit of crossover, I think, depending on what you do. But generally,
a little bit, but not
in a big way. No, absolutely. But I'm so with you. I like every day I see who the new followers are, and so I deliberately I spend 30 minutes in the morning posting, and I've scheduled stuff and what have you, and then 30 minutes in the evening I go and see who the new followers are, and I love looking at that, especially the ones who I think, no, you're definitely not my tribe. You need to be removed. The strange accounts that send me messages like "Hello, pretty." I'm like, no, you're out. You're out.
Like, ooh, I'm like, who's this?
You're definitely out. I've removed you. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's everything. I used to be bothered by that. I used to be bothered, but now I realize it's not. Now I know what it means. It's not for my friends to support what I do. It's not up to them. If they feel inspired to do that, fine. But if they don't, then I shouldn't get. It's not up to me to say, oh, why you're not supporting me and stuff. Of course they're supporting me because they're my friends, but they don't have to subscribe. They don't have to say, oh, you're doing really well, because I know they're saying that. They don't have to show.
You should have, I suppose that's confidence, isn't it? You have now, because of what you've done, and the same with me. Like I was saying, in the beginning, I was very unhappy with the layering of the female, but now I'm completely settled with it because I am confident in my ability, in my own self. But people, some people aren't. Some people are still growing into their own selves.
Well,
we all should be growing all the time, but growing to a point now where I'm more confident. So tell us more about Pinterest, because I obviously I know a lot about Instagram. I don't know a lot about Instagram and Facebook. I know everything there is to know. Although they'll probably change it tomorrow, and then I'll have to relearn it again, because they do love doing that.
Oh, they do,
But I know nothing really. I have a Pinterest account, but I don't really know.
It's when it comes. I've been using Pinterest for years, and it's really, it's really. Creatives love it. Every stylist, every designer, they all have Pinterest accounts. And what Pinterest does, you sign up, and then you basically get imagery according to what you like. And first, it's a bit slow, obviously, because you
send it to you.
What they do, they just give you there's like a today section, and then they give you loads of images, like tons of images of all kinds of stuff. So and then you go, oh, whatever, I want to have a pin. So you have images, and then you can create pin boards, and the pin boards they have a theme. Let's say summer dresses. I want to be inspired. Pinterest is a pool for inspiration. It's a pool of imagery for inspiration. So if I say like, ooh, I want to buy, I want to sew myself a summer dress. So I go on Pinterest, put on summer dresses, or and then loads of summer dresses come. And the ones I like, oh, I like the straps on that one, or I like how the back is on that one, and oh, this looks really good, and I like the color of this. So you then can pin them onto your board. So you have a board of summer dresses, and that's where you collect all your inspiration. If like whenever I had a photo shoot, I would make a mood board. So I put all kinds of stuff in, like how I envision the makeup, what the mood should be. Is it dark mood? Is it light mood? And then I would send it to all the participants, and they would know roughly what the mood is and what we're looking for. And then everyone would give their thing. So it's a huge, massive tool.
So that would be really helpful if you were like designing your own website. So you're an artist and you designing a website, and you want to give the feel of what you want to do to the designer.
Yeah,
you could create a Pinterest board.
Oh, Vincent just made a comment. Yeah, as a designer. Yeah. It's a genius, and there's like an infinite, about travel, about hotels. If you want to have like, I don't know, French Paris aesthetics, you can. Okay, there are two things you can. So like, okay, Paris, and then it shows you the Eiffel Tower and all kind of different angles, and it's all imagery that people have uploaded at some point. So you have the Eiffel Tower and croissants and coffee and stuff, and then
you can like copyright free. You haven't got any issues with copyright.
Well, you only put it on the pin. You can download it onto your phone, but obviously the imagery is small. But it's still better. I mean, you used to be able to do that with Google. You would, Google an image and then take it. But Google's been so rubbish nowadays. They're all weird. They're just like for referencing, and they're not aesthetically pleasing. I think they're really screwed up there. But I get
there's a lot of copyright issues out there.
Yeah. But then, but with Pinterest, you make these boards with like beautiful imagery, and I used to have like one for food, one for 1920s fashion, one for, I don't know, wedding dresses when I was making my haute couture, summer dresses, bags.
So can you share them? Can you share? Is it like you have followers? Do you still have followers on Pinterest?
Well, you do have followers, and then they get on their today selection. They get sort of used. So I get a lot of stuff from a really good friend of mine, Tara Dayton, who makes the most beautiful wedding dresses, like vintage wedding dresses. So, and she's really, really busy on Pinterest, and I always see like, uploaded by Tara Dayton. I'm like, yeah, and stunning images. Yeah,
I see. So you can. So very like. Is it owned by Facebook?
I don't know who owns it. I don't know. I mean, Instagram. But the thing is, it's like, I used to do it for projects, and then I thought, and that really inspired me to make that post on YouTube to about Pinterest, because before that I was always just doing for projects and little bits and pieces. And if I needed to look at, how to make a quiche, I would go there because the image was
to go to Pinterest, whereas I'd go to Google and think,
Pinterest is
how to make a quiche.
It's so much prettier though.
So much nice, and I like pretty.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like being pretty, but I like
pretty. So and then I thought, why don't I sort of had to realize the power it has, because the thing is, I came to Amsterdam to my business master in sustainable fashion, which I finished last June. Oh God, it's a year ago. So what?
I finished mine in 2015. Imagine how I feel. And I keep being, I've applied and I'm doing all my work towards doing my PhD, and I'm like, that was nearly 6 years ago. Now, come on.
Crazy. As in time goes so funny. But they were always in my business during my studies. They were always saying, you need to have a vision. You need to see. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like you are in your life, and basically everything around in your life is your vision, your projection of the life that you deserve, with all the good and all the bad things. This is how you
kind of taking it on to a more you've taken it out of it's a functional tool, and you've taken it on to another level of actually you can use this. You can't use Facebook. You can't use Facebook and Instagram like that because they simply won't let you.
No,
But
Instagram is the whole thing. You know,
you
Instagram,
can use
they
Instagram
show,
like that.
and the thing is, everyone who shows imagery, like, you know, especially on Instagram as well, because you have it connected to a person, they show us, you know, they are an inspiration. They show us what is possible. They show us a possible alternate reality, which out of our own lives, we cannot see, because all we see is manifested around us. This is our vision, and that is our bubble. And it's kind of, you know, I always found it hard. It's like to see, okay, where can I go from that? You know, I want to have a vision. I want to have dreams. And I was like, yeah, but what do I want? What do I want? I never knew what I want. You know,
are you saying
they can
then?
show you, maybe you want this. And I was like, oh, I like it. I put it on my pinboard. And so, oh, I like that. Goodness, you know, and it doesn't matter if it comes, you know, if it comes to pass or not. If you just go, I don't need it. And that's the crux point. That's why I always struggle. You know, how can I desire something if I really don't need it? That was always my thing. You know, I would love to be.
It's that want and need, isn't it?
But then I don't need it, because here in Amsterdam, I'm living in literally one room, and all my clothes are in there, and it's quite minimal, actually. That's all I need. So I'm like, but you know, but desire and need, and then I thought it. I was thinking, okay, I can say I don't need it, but it would be totally awesome
if I had it.
Even if I just have it for 5 minutes. You know, I don't want to own a vintage Porsche. You know, I don't want to own it, because then I go like, insurance, and I need to have I need to park it somewhere, and especially in Amsterdam, what am I thinking? And then, you know, it's going to cost this and this, how am I going to get the money? But it would be awesome just to go for a drive in one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. So Instagram shows us the aesthetic of what is possible.
The people that it's real, well, supposedly real people who achieve a certain thing. And then they go, hey, I've achieved my dream. If it's your dream, feel free to be inspired and follow me. Or if it's not your dream, that's fine too. You know, there are a zillion other dreams out there. But it's important that people put out their dreams to inspire others. And that's why I'm also saying is being a creator. And you see this word creator now everywhere. Be creator, create a dream, or create anything, because you inspire others. You inspire others what is possible by living your dream. And it sounds so corny, but it's true. If you
the platforms are there for us to make them work for us, as opposed to us helping them become bigger, you know, Facebook gurus. No. Actually, you can flip it, is what you're saying, and use it to inspire each other.
Yeah, and if I'm inspired by someone who puts a lot of effort in creating the stream, then I can say, yes, I'm a follower. It doesn't cost me anything. It's just a token of appreciation. You know, it's not like, oh, you know, when they have loads of followers, then they get free Gucci bags. You know, those people never make money. It sounds like, you know, maybe a handful of influencers make money, but they work bloody hard. So if anyone would put that much work into anything they love doing, they would be as successful as they are.
Yeah.
You know? But it's easy to say,
that's the influencer. It's the influencer catch, isn't it? It's because we see people see that some people have got 50,000 followers, and suddenly they're saying on their Instagram or on their Facebook, I'm getting free this, that, and the other. Actually, that's their life's work.
Exactly. They've done it for years. It doesn't, you know, you don't get 50,000 followers just overnight. They are doing it as a job. And anything you do as a job and a hobby makes you money, of course.
Yes.
You know, otherwise it's
not a job.
Their job. Yeah, it's their job. So it's not that they just like hanging out on beaches and being photographed. No, it's like a whole
even though it does sometimes look like that.
Okay, it look like it, but it's not work. Yeah. So yeah, but back to.
But what you're talking about is something quite different. It's what I've been talking about a lot with the guys who I, you know, mentor and coach and what have you, which is approaching it with a different mindset, approaching these platforms as you are the creator, you are the inspirer. You can inspire others. And as a part of inspiring others, you can actually achieve your own dreams as well.
Exactly.
If you want to.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
a mindset switch.
Yeah. And it's giving and taking.
Okay.
It's not just like someone is like doing this and, oh, and now they're monetizing it. Yeah, because they, why not? It's a job. You wouldn't go into a job and say, oh, I'm not monetizing this.
No. But we're creators.
I'm not monetizing this. That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
We live in a capitalist society. That's, how the circular economy works. People buy stuff and you buy stuff to live. Exactly. That's how that's the society setup that we've all bought into. We don't live in North Korea or in parts of Russia where it's still quite oppressed. We live here, and the circular economy is such that, and I love that that concept of Matthew Burrows with the artist support pledge, because that fully ties into that that circular economy of you buy from me and I'll buy from you, and you keep it all going round. And I'm starting to understand what you're saying about the use of Instagram and the use of Pinterest and if you put the mindset switch on,
it's the essence.
Yes,
it's an essence. And what I believe, it's like once you create that board and you make it public, by choosing, we have choices. Our life is basically an array or the product of all our choices. And sometimes we make choices that we think were not so great. But, a lot of choices, it's like, they're fantastic. And we make choices all the time. So by choosing a certain image and putting it onto your Pinterest, your live mood board, you are choosing this. You basically say into the algorithms, okay, I'm not a coder and I'm not, so if I use these expressions on the wrong way, please, don't be too hard on me. Yeah, I'm not a computer fan. But, by choosing that, you send out a message almost to the ether. Oh.
Yeah.
That was an ant.
Oh.
You're sending a message out.
That ant wanted to come in your bubble.
Yeah, I know. Not now. I'm busy.
Found you inspirational.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes. Basically, putting a thing out there saying, okay, this is what I want. And if you put more of the same onto the bin box, it's like, this is what I really, really want. Because we get, sometimes when you go just on a website, you go to like one of those rubbish websites that bring things from China and they pretend they are in the UK. And you're like, oh, that's nice. That's a nice dress. That's a nice dress. And then
it brings more to you, doesn't
it? Because the algorithm is out there saying, oh, she looked at this. So cool. This is what she wants. So we provide this for her. But what I always thought, I put like ad blocker on my laptop because I couldn't bear getting the advertising. But the advertising is only a thing to tell me we heard you or we saw that you're looking. If you want this, if this is what you want,
it's a response,
website, isn't it? So you can get it.
It's an energy response again. So actually, this is a massive mindset switch in how we as creatives use these visual platforms, because before it's like I am showing my work to you, but actually that's not going to bring what I want to me, is it? Because all I'm doing is showing you what I do.
You're basically showing people your life, because what people also like to see with the artwork is how that person lives. The other day I was like thinking, I went to the Van Gogh Museum here, which is obviously so Dutch. And I was like, what made him so, I know, it's beautiful, but what made him so, he wasn't an extraordinary artist. Okay, I mean, he was amazing, but not an extraordinary artist. But what makes him so captivating is that he had this extraordinary letter exchange with his brother and his wife, and brother's wife. So all the letters, all his struggles, all his ideas while he was doing the painting, all the sketches and stuff, that gives you a deep insight into the person.
So
people don't buy
I'm getting it now. I think it's
people don't
about the
buy
narrative.
Because of art's sake, they love also the background, the person behind it, because that makes it weigh, and what makes art valuable, because it's an insight into a person's mind. So if you go out there and put your Pinterest board and say, I want this, I'd love this, I love this, I love this, people will get an insight who you are. And then if it's clear in your head what you want, then the delivery, that's what I always say, if it's clear to you, it's clear to the delivery service, because we're so unclear of what we want. And then we get like shitty advertising and we go, why are they advertising that to me? Yeah. Well, if you don't want it, then you can say, oh, I don't want this. And then they say, why? And then you say, bugger off.
I didn't want it in the first place.
Then they know. But then they know, and they're like, okay, we try something else. But instead of them trying, it's like cold calling. You get like things offered and you get so exhausted by the stuff that's out there. But instead, make it specific. I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. And then watch the magic unfold. Because then...
So it's about the narrative and the clarity.
Yeah.
So it's about saying what you want.
I want this, and then
say what you want. And when you're sharing your own story and your own thing, be generous. Be generous.
Yeah, and not think, oh my God, people would steal it and stuff. Bollocks.
Yeah, be generous.
You probably stole it from other people in the connected.
I'm going to have to put on a buzzer for you. I'm going to have to find a bleeper in a minute.
No, that's cool.
Excuse the language, everyone. we did talk. I love it.
Did I say that? Oh my God, I didn't even realize. Okay, sorry guys.
So I'm starting to understand the mind switch that we need to make through you talking about it, and that's really fascinating. We have got some questions. I'm just going to ask you a couple of the questions that we've got down here. So the first one is from Edith, and she's saying, what is your YouTube channel? Can you type your YouTube channel into the sidebar for everyone? Because you said people aren't following you, so they're going to follow you now.
You don't have to, please.
But if you'd like to, if you'd like to, then there it is. There we are. Freya Music. Perfect. And the next question we've got is from Fran White. Did you refer to the paper dresses we wore in the 1960s, or was your idea simply an evolution from your foundation studies?
Well, I mean, I have to say the 1960s, I did a whole thing about the 1960s paper dresses and the hype of it, which is fascinating. But I didn't know so much about it when I started with the paper couture. I mean, I created ball gowns, basically, big drama, huge ball gowns of paper dresses. They were less sort of on the practical side, because in the 60s you could actually wear them. And I love the idea that you can customize them as well, and my daughter actually made, for her graduation, she wanted to do festival dresses out of paper, and she managed, and it's really cool actually. So there is a practicality to it, but my dresses were more sculptures. Really.
Yeah, they were more art pieces, weren't they?
Yeah.
But now, the most interesting thing you said, something interesting you said there, not the most interesting, but something interesting you said.
One of the things
was about the festivals. And I know you spent some time working at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us about your Glastonbury life.
I mean, Glasgow is just another thing. There are actually at least two levels of festivals going on. There's all the top level, where you have the big, Beyonce and Lana Del Rey and all those big, people are chasing to the big gigs. But then if you are actually in that whole commotion, and it's a city, Glastonbury is a small city. But if you're actually quiet, it takes you into another level, and you meet people and they take you like literally down the rabbit hole. Glastonbury is extraordinary like that. And I was very fortunate in making, one year I made in Shangri-La, I made big paper clouds for one of the tents. And so, yes, I did 4 years I worked at Glastonbury, and it's just the best. I really missed it last year.
You just reminded me about the clouds, because we had the clouds as an installation, didn't we, in the Wing Gallery one year as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
having the clouds. I really wanted one. They were kind of like, and they are fire retardant, aren't they? Because we did put some bulbs.
Yeah, we had
bulbs in.
But I had to spray the heck out of them. Because it's also in Glastonbury, you know, they cannot take any chances, you know, and people are getting wasted in those tents and stuff. So, and you know,
cigarettes and all of that.
So that was always a bit of a worry, but you know, get through the fire. You know, when the fire inspector came, like, oh god, and it's like, it's okay.
You've done so much. You've done so much. All the years with the front row, and then you know, the Glastonbury, and now you're in this new life in Amsterdam. So what does the future hold for Freya?
Well, I mean, I did my business master because I thought, okay, I'd get, you know, having been an insane creative all my life, I need to get some business like head sorted, and I did that for 2 years. And it was okay. No, I learned a lot. However, I think it was just the ploy to get me to Amsterdam.
I was going to say, why did you pick to go to do that in Amsterdam? Did you do it in English?
Yes, it was in English. I mean, that the course was extraordinary, and there were like literally a chain of events where I'm just like, okay, and then I'm like, I'm in Amsterdam. Yeah. So, but now I'm still creative, but I'm creative in a different way. So I'm creating my perfect life.
On Pinterest.
Via Pinterest. And I've got lots of, I mean, during the last few months, I had a lot of realizations about myself. This morning I had a big realization, actually almost had a meltdown, because I realized that I'm actually really pathetic.
We're actually answering Carol's questions.
So. Okay. What?
We're answering Carol's question. How did that happen? So that is, what are you working on at the moment? So cool. So you had your meltdown this morning.
Meltdown, and also during the master, I had to come up with a product, because we did branding and marketing, and we had to do a financial plan and all of that. So, and I didn't want to. First, I thought about doing knitwear, because I found a company in Japan who makes paper thread. So I wanted to make paper dresses, but in the end, I made a disposable and biodegradable spa underwear. So that's what I designed, and that's what I based all my master on. And I've got now a company I'm doing a joint venture with, who do disposable and biodegradable towels already. So we're going together and conquer the spa world.
So you've taken all of that experience from your creative work, and made it into something in commerce. On the side of that, I know you can't possibly not be doing something creative. So come on, what are you doing?
Actually, I'm not doing. I mean, I'm creating content now. It's a different type of creation. You know, I'm creating my life. I'm sorting out my beliefs about myself, about everything. So this is, you know, so I'm creating life algorithms. I don't know.
Creating the Freya algorithm.
Yeah. So the word at the moment is my tool. So I'm writing down a lot in form of some sort of diary, which sounds insane, but I might just put it out there at some point. And
you've been doing a diary journal during the lockdown experience.
Because a lot of things started coming up, you know, and I think that was why this time, the last few months, was so important to happen. And I know it's, you know, if you're out there and you've lost a loved one, it is tough to deal with. But I think this whole slowing down and people facing their beliefs and demons was really necessary. So a lot of good will come from.
Yeah, I think you know, there's a balance, isn't it? Some people have had bad experiences, but actually some people who've had bad experiences I've then subsequently spoken to, and they said, however, now I am starting to see the things that have been good for me.
Yeah,
And
but it was relevant, actually.
yeah, that it was a relevant experience. And I didn't want to lose my loved one, or I didn't want to lose my job, or whatever it was. But actually, it's made me, like you say, it's brought up the point of reflecting and reviewing and repositioning and deciding, actually, consciously, how I want to go forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's a very powerful gift.
Because it's always good to hang out in other people's lives and to make you feel better, on Instagram and on Facebook. But, sort out your own life, then you don't have to follow others. Be inspired by them, but make the changes that you want. Pick the things that you like from that, use it, and make it your own. Every life is unique.
I think I'm going to have to write. We're going to have to do some writing around the power of the narrative and how you use that on Pinterest and Instagram, because it's quite that mindset switch that you've just described is quite complex, and I think it's going to take us a little while to get our head around it. If I'm honest, it's taken me a little while to get my head around it, and I've obviously listened to it a couple of times. I think we might have to, explore some collaborative writing around that. I've got a couple more questions. We've got another question. Do you have to make the dresses fire resistant?
Well, when I was doing the fashion shows, I didn't, because there wasn't really open fire there. But if I do it for events, yes, I have to.
We didn't make fire resistant. The dresses we didn't make fire resistant.
No. If they're stationary or just on the catwalk, then not. But if I had any sort of commissions that would be somebody walking around, or even a wedding dress. I haven't promoted my dresses as wedding dresses because I'm mortified that the bride will go up in flames and it's all my fault.
It's not going to be the best outcome for a wedding, is it?
No, rubbish marketing, really.
Really bad. So yes, we loved her dress. Sadly, the bride didn't make it.
No. Sorry.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
I happen to know, though, you have been doing something a little bit creative with your tours. Tell us about your tours you've been doing, because I really love the idea of this.
The what?
Your little curated tours that you've been doing around Amsterdam.
Curated tours?
You've been taking people.
Yeah. Well, it sounds so glamorous, but I was a pub crawl host. So basically, I was paid to take visitors around bars and clubs and party with them.
What a great job!
What a great job! And I was also working during my studies as a part-time nanny. So it's basically the same. It's the same job. So I had fun playing and looking after people, make sure they get home safe, and I got paid.
Yeah, wow. I loved it. When you said that to me, I was like, I would definitely have gone on one of those. Go and party with Micah.
It's messy. I mean, it's not pretty, but it was so fun. I would basically pour vodka into people's mouths for the first half an hour of each night.
1830 to me. We've gone off a tangent now.
So much fun.
I was more into the dancing and the partying. I think that sounded amazing. And it reminded me, when you told me about that, it reminded me about the White's dinners, the Rendezvous Blanc that you used to do in Hastings. I don't know whether anyone watching ever went to a Rendezvous Blanc, but they were amazing.
They were amazing.
Tell everyone a bit about the Rendezvous Blanc. That'd be great.
Well, it was like a global thing. I don't know if they started it in Paris or something, but it was sort of like dinner flash mobs where everyone would wear white and elegant clothing, and everyone bring table, chairs, tablecloths, cutlery, glasses, champagne, beautiful food, and then like an hour before the event, there would be a post where this event would be happening. So everyone would rush there, set up, and be just simply beautiful. And it would be, somewhere outside in a park, or I think they did it on the Champs-Élysées as well. Insane.
This sounds like my kind of flash mob, I can't lie.
And it's so glamorous, and everyone would totally dress up, all in white. So it looks rather stunning,
Wouldn't that be an amazing thing to aspire to after lockdown? Obviously we can't do it at the moment, but to do a glamorous white flash mob, oh my goodness, that is just like
Yeah, yeah. So Claire, the beautiful Claire Catrell, she's been organizing it. So yeah, maybe next year.
Claire, shout out to Claire.
Yeah, Claire, please.
Please do another one, Claire. And then maybe you could link up and do one in Amsterdam as well at the same time. That would be just super cool.
Yeah, but I'm knackered. I'm knackered about the event. I've done 20 years of event managing and producing, so now I've just left to look about. I'm just going to organize myself. I've got enough to do with that.
I totally get you. I've done a good 20 years of events, and I have to say, being able to do these live broadcasts with my friends and people I've connected with over that time, and just listen to their life stories and understand it's about the power of the narrative, and the value of that narrative is inspirational. And you're so inspirational to so many people.
Thank you.
And talking, and then touching on those names like Peter Quinnell, Betty McRae. Betty. Mm-hmm. It's not Betty McRae. Becky McRae. She'll be happy with that, won't she? Becky McRae, Matthew Burrows. All such inspirational people. Yeah. If we can think about that and start to do this mind switch as you're suggesting, and use these platforms to attract in what we want, as opposed to just pushing out what we want others to see, but using them as a power of attraction. They are
incredible tools, and we need to see the value of them. They are out there, not just to the people just want to make money. No, they empower us. That's the thing, and it's with everything. With all I love that. Yeah, I had a big realization about the 1 month free trial thing as well. Yeah, we could go on and on and on.
Just quickly tell us, and then we're going to finish. What's the realization about the 1 month free trial?
It's like you get months for free. Whatever if you've in those, they say that a new habit takes a month.
Yeah, 21 days.
Integrate, yeah. So if you have the first month free, it's so clever. You have the first month free, which means that if you, from the first day to the last day, use it with all its things, really get involved in it, then you have learned. It's almost like a learning thing. And if you then transfer it to whatever the essence of that learning is to your life, then after the month, you actually don't need it anymore. They give you, if you are up for it, if you are sort of up for it, then they give it to you for free for a month. If you make the best out of that, put all your energy in that for that month, then you will have learned what it teaches you. And afterwards, you can unsubscribe because you don't need it anymore. Or you're so happy and you've grown that you have to pay those, whatever, 10 quid. And what people are making money of is someone who signs up and then is lazy about it, just is entertained. And that's fine too. Then they pay for entertainment. It's genius. It's like every one of these, like Evernote, all these premium things. You get the first one free, and then they check if are they doing anything with that? And then if they don't, then we charge them because now we're entertaining them. But if you use the month with all, really get to know this tool, it's a life tool you can use in your life.
I so get it. You get emotionally invested, don't you? If you do it properly, because I know I've signed up to a couple of things over the lockdown period, and I've really used them, like you say, and I've really got to know them, and I've really learnt them. Then they've got my content in there, and I'm now emotionally invested. But that's okay.
But you are a creator. They see you created. That's the key. You're being tagged as a creator.
Yeah, and they now give me extra stuff, and they come to me and they ask me comments and feedback, and
exactly. They show you, they tag you as a creator who can create new paradigms for the world we live in. That's what it is.
Yeah, and whereas if it's a bit like the gym membership thing, isn't it? If you buy your gym membership and never use it, then you're paying for the luxury of having it there if you ever did want to use it.
Exactly. And it's laziness. And then why not charge it? But if somebody really makes it, if you find, go to the gym for the first 3 months, and you do all these things, you get a trainer, and you do all these things, you can do those things at home. But after a month of diligently going, you will have the tools
and the skills,
and the what's it called? To be diligent in something. You do something all the time. It becomes a habit. Exactly. You get the habit, and then you can do that at home. You can lift, whatever, milk cartons. You don't need big machines.
Absolutely. You can jump on a box.
Yeah, literally. But
you don't actually need
whoever thinks they can't do it, they will pay.
Yeah. And if they like the other things that come with it, so, the community. So sometimes it's because they're part of your tribe. You realize these are my tribe and I want to be in this community with them. Then you invest in the community. So absolutely.
Yeah, you invest in the gear and you wear the right trainers and of course, but you don't need to. It's all there. And then people always go like, oh, we're being sold to. No, it's like you hang in there. So they go, okay, this is what they like. Yeah. So here are fantastic shoes. Here are fantastic leggings. Here is this. Here's that. Here are the Nutri-bars. Here's an app. Here's an app. But it's just giving you the tools. If you think you can't do this by yourself to get yourself healthy, then we give you the tools in terms of products and services to get you there. But you don't need it. You don't need it because you think you need it. That's when you pay.
Absolutely. It is just being conscious in every interaction you have. And making sure that you've made a conscious decision. Are you in or are you out? Is there something to learn or is there not something to learn?
Yeah.
And then being honest and having integrity.
Oh, there was Sister Amanda said, Amanda Hopkins, thank you so much for a new mindset. Wow.
Yeah,
thank you for your mind.
What you've delivered today for us is a mindset switch, and that's absolutely amazing. It's instead of pushing stuff out, attract stuff in. And be conscious about it. And I'm incredibly grateful for you talking about that from your perspective. Because we all need to hear other people's views.
Yeah, a quick one. I know we're over time, aren't we?
We're going to say goodbye in a minute.
Being an artist. Okay, I've been creative all my life. I've made things all my life. However, there always was a discrepancy with me. My art, which I thought, okay, I'm doing exactly what I love doing. I'm using the medium that I love. I can do this for hours. It is almost like a divine talent that I don't work hard for. So I never could price my stuff. And I felt I never sort of taking it from the divine inspiration and creation part into labeling it and branding it and market it and putting a price on it and selling it. I could never do that because it was going against my fiber as a creative. It was like, I'm having fun. Am I doing exactly what I want? So I can't really charge money for that, which has been such and that's why I think, oh no, I have to do a business master and pay a shitload of money for that. To get that mindset. But it's not about that. The thing is, do what you love and just do it and not think about, how am I going to market this? How am I going to do this? What can I charge for it? Because I know, or I imagine that this is a big problem for a lot of creatives.
Oh my goodness, it is one of the biggest
price their work. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, do what you love and do it persistently, like that month thing. Do what you love and just do it and revel in it and know that you're supported, because that's the thing. Money doesn't necessarily then, if you are a creator, money doesn't necessarily come, because money is energy and not stuff. Money doesn't come according to how you price things and how you sell stuff. Not that, it's just one channel. where money can come from. And if we focus on, I used to focus on that one channel, and if I don't sell something during a fair, I'll be devastated. And then I thought, okay, the next fair I'm going to do, and I'm going to put more work into it. But it didn't work for me ever. But now I'm like, okay, I don't care. I'm having minimal overheads. I'm doing exactly what I love. And money, money supports that. If you're a creator, as I said earlier, with Instagram and Pinterest, if you're a creator, money will come, but it comes from other directions that you don't think. Don't get too stuck on, I have to sell my artwork and have to make money with that, otherwise I have to get a part-time job, blah, blah, blah. Find a way of doing a little bit of everything, but don't get stuck up and hung up about it. But because
so that's the classic. What we say is that it's the classic energy exchange. It's like you do the thing and you put it out there. What you need to come back may not come back from the person you delivered the thing to.
No, but if you look at that
from left or right field, you just need to be spectruming.
Be open. It's like, it would be nice if I made money with it, but it doesn't matter because I'm having the best time of my life anyway, already. So no money is actually the equivalent to that, because I love what I do. And then
you're getting the energy back in the gratification.
Yes, and you don't get stuck and wound up about it. So leave it open, just like I'm creating, and I'm just putting it out there. And whatever comes back is going to be fine. But you will be supported in the end. And that's
you will get what you need.
Exactly.
If you do it with integrity. And
but don't look into just one channel of where money can flow, because also money is access to is access to opportunities and resources.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
These broadcasts are a quintessential reflection of that, actually, because someone said to me, how are you going? I just bumped into someone, not physically, you understand, there was a distance between us. And they said to me, how are you monetizing the broadcast? And I said, I'm not.
No.
And they said, oh, you should be monetized. I said, it's an energy exchange. I am absolutely thriving from doing this. I know that I'm in total alignment with what I should be doing because I am thriving and I'm loving it. I know that what I need will come from elsewhere, and I don't need to be spending my energy looking for it or worrying about it. I'm just doing this, and what I need is the key, will come.
Yeah, you're creating value, so the value will come back to you.
I don't need to be spending my worry or energy thinking, I need to market that to there and I need to think about that. No, I'm just doing what I'm doing because I know it's right and I love it and people are getting so much out of it. And when they stop getting out of it, I'll stop doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Then something else comes up. Yeah,
exactly. It's that alignment thing.
We're so lucky. We're creators, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very privileged to do what I do, and to happen upon this vehicle, which I truly love, and I find so rewarding. And I know that other people find the experiences of just hearing, you've just helped several people see things from a different perspective. We're all getting these different views.
7 is a good number.
Several. We don't know how many, and it'll carry on going. Cool. This energy goes out into the internet now, and it'll just be there. I don't need to know where it's going to come back to me from. I don't need it back from you. I don't need it back from the audience. What I need will come back to me from somewhere. And I'm just leaving that to the universe to deal with. I'm not worrying about it.
The universe got your back, so what do you care?
The universe has it. And that's what
you worry about. And
as creatives, that's what we need to reinforce with ourselves. A lot of the time is, you have to have some business knowledge, as you correctly say, as I correctly say. We have to know some stuff. But some of the stuff that we dwell hard on, how do I price this? How do I get it out there? Is the stuff we shouldn't be worrying about.
No. But artists get so like I used to go like, I need a website, and then somebody would build me a website, which was just so complicated, and I'm like, I can't even use this, and I don't know what to do, and it's not really working, and I'm not selling through that, and it's like, how am I going to? And then Shopify, I can do Shopify. It's like, it's a minefield, but just do a little bit at a time, but always be out there.
Just be mindful of your conscious decisions.
Yeah.
Do one step at a time.
Exactly. And have fun. That's the thing, is you like to have fun with it. And the minute you don't enjoy it, check why you're not enjoying it before you're getting too deep down. Then you go like, I'm going to get a job in the bank because I'm not making any money with my
I think the thing
pottery.
you said, I think the thing you said just now about that mindset of the artist, that is such a classic mindset of the artist, isn't it? It's like, I'm so privileged to do what I do, I couldn't possibly charge. No, you can. It's absolutely fine to charge for what you do, because other people do stuff they are happy doing as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if somebody makes you a piece of bread, you're happy to pay for it.
And they loved making it. They chose to be a baker.
Exactly. But with artists, sometimes it's just like, and that's why you have galleries and what they called artist managers.
Yeah, agents.
Agents who deal with all of that. But then, artists complain about them.
Yeah, there is a lot of infrastructure goes into the art world, and I think a lot of it is because of this mindset that I couldn't possibly charge because I'm doing something I love. Well, and then that just gives energy to all this other infrastructure.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, exactly. I
think we're going to have to wrap up now.
Yes.
I have had the time of my life talking to you. Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
And we will definitely have Freya back again in the autumn to talk more about other things. Oh, sorry, the dog. That's my dog and my dog barking because my son has just come into the room.
Yeah,
and
actually, we have this arts festival in Hastings, quick one, Coastal Currents, and they are doing like a podcast this Saturday. Check out the website, because I'm doing like a little walkabout for an hour around my favorite Hastings spots.
Oh, brilliant!
So have a look at that. Yes.
Just had a fantastic comment in the side saying, "Thank you for encouraging challenging words. We should charge because we are the fifth emergency service." Absolutely to that, because during lockdown, if it weren't for the creatives, what would everyone have been doing?
Exactly.
I know because of the information that comes through from us. We get emails every day saying that how uplifting they find these experiences and how it just keeps them going and everything. So thank you so much.
And thank you for everyone who tuned in. It was
really
so
for everyone who's been watching. We had loads of people on Facebook. We've had loads of people watching live. This will now go onto our watch page. The lovely Christina will upload it, and it will go onto our watch page. You can watch it forever. You can share it with anyone. We really don't mind.
Yes, we don't mind.
And we know the universe is looking after us. So thank you so much, and have a lovely. It's a beautiful day here.
Yes, I'm going to swim in the canal in a minute.
Fabulous. Yes. I'm not swimming in any canals, but my son does now need me to take him out. So that's
and the dog.
Yes,
of course.
But thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
Have a lovely day, everyone.
We'll see you all next Wednesday. And check out on the website. I can't remember who's the guest next Wednesday because my mind is completely abuzz with all of that wonderful knowledge that I've got now. Yes. But we'll send you reminders, don't worry. And we'll send you invitations to come in and watch. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.